I think I figured it out. So, The Rock is a transgender.
Over the years, fans have speculated that some WWE wrestlers might be transgender. From The Rock to John Cena to Dustin Rhodes, this video breaks down WWE legends that fans believe were secretly born female. We begin with Dustin Rhodes. One wrestler fans have long speculated about is Dustin Rhodes, also known as Goldust. When Goldust debuted in WWE in 1995, the character was deliberately designed to unsettle and provoke audiences. Vince McMahon himself pitched the gimmick as androgynous, a term Dustin initially didn't fully understand but later embraced as a way to distinguish himself from his legendary father, Dusty Rhodes. The Goldust character featured gold face paint, elaborate wigs, and flamboyant attire that intentionally played with gender norms and sexuality to generate maximum heat, wrestling terminology for crowd reaction. However, the most persistent source of gender-related speculation surrounding Dustin Rhodes stems from a wild story from the late 1990s. As interest in the Goldust character began to wane between 1997 and 1998, Dustin proposed an idea that would have taken the controversy to unprecedented levels. He suggested getting breast implants to reignite the character's shock value. This wasn't idle talk. Dustin consulted plastic surgeons and was genuinely prepared to undergo the procedure, viewing it as the ultimate commitment to his wrestling gimmick. WWE executive Bruce Pritchard later recalled the situation on his podcast, noting just how far Dustin was willing to push the envelope for the character. Ultimately, Vince McMahon vetoed the idea, convincing Dustin that such extreme measures were unnecessary and potentially harmful to both his health and long-term career. Years later, McMahon even joked about the incident on Raw in 2001, publicly mentioning that Goldust had once wanted breast implants. Over time, this story has been widely misconstrued online, with some people incorrectly interpreting it as evidence of personal gender exploration. In reality, it was simply an example of a wrestler willing to go to extreme lengths for his craft during WWE's boundary-pushing attitude era. What makes the confusion surrounding Dustin Rhodes particularly ironic is that he is actually one of the wrestling industry's most vocal transgender allies. This advocacy isn't performative, it's deeply personal. Dustin has a transgender stepson whom he openly loves and fiercely protects. In November 2016, after his stepson was attacked by 3 men in a hate crime, Dustin took to social media with an emotional post condemning the violence and calling for tolerance and acceptance. In February 2020, when transgender wrestler Nyla Rose faced backlash after winning the AEW Women's Championship, Dustin publicly showed his support, tweeting that he was sick of the transphobia and proudly stating that his son is trans. In June 2021, he went even further by releasing a trans-inspired merchandise design during Pride Month, with all proceeds donated to the National Center for Transgender Equality. Hulk Hogan is another name often pulled into online speculation. Few figures in professional wrestling history carry the same weight. Born Terry Jean Bollea on August 11, 1953, in Augusta, Georgia, Hogan became the very embodiment of American wrestling throughout the 1980s and beyond. With his 24-inch pythons, iconic bandana, and unmistakable blonde mustache, Hulk Hogan didn't just participate in wrestling, he defined an entire era through his hypermasculine Hulkamania persona. It may come as a surprise that in certain fringe corners of the internet, there are theorists who claim Hulk Hogan was secretly born female.
My name is Gabe. Gabby. Tough. And I'm transitioning from male to female.
What makes the confusion around Dustin Rhodes particularly ironic is that he is one of wrestling's most vocal transgender allies. His support is deeply personal. Dustin has a transgender stepson whom he openly loves and protects. In 2016, after his stepson was attacked in a hate crime, Dustin condemned the violence and called for tolerance. He later publicly supported transgender wrestler Nyla Rose during Backlash in 2020 and released Pride Month merchandise in 2021 with proceeds benefiting the National Center for Transgender Equality. Hulk Hogan, born Terry Jean Bollea in 1953, is one of wrestling's most iconic symbols of exaggerated masculinity. Despite this, fringe internet conspiracy theorists claim he was secretly born female. These claims originate from transvestigation, a pseudoscientific practice that analyzes celebrities' bodies for imagined gender inconsistencies. In Hogan's case, theorists focus on his arm proportions, labeling them the T-Rex arm phenomenon. Scientists dismiss these claims entirely, noting that limb proportions vary widely regardless of sex and are heavily influenced by genetics and training. Hogan's documented measurements and decades of bodybuilding further undermine the theory. The irony is heightened by Hogan's own hypermasculine persona and past transphobic remarks. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has also been targeted by similar conspiracies. Emerging around 2020, these theories claim he was assigned female at birth. The speculation stems from Johnson's own childhood stories about being mistaken for a girl due to soft features and an afro hairstyle. Conspiracy theorists have distorted these anecdotes into fabricated evidence, using visual analysis of his body to support broader, unfounded claims about Hollywood and gender inversion. Medical experts reject these methods, emphasizing natural anatomical variation and the impact of ethnicity and training. Johnson's well-documented life, athletic background, and fatherhood directly contradict these claims. More recently, AEW star Darby Allin has faced sporadic online rumors questioning his gender identity. These discussions are based solely on his slim build, tattoos, and punk aesthetic, assumptions that conflate alternative appearance with gender nonconformity rather than any factual evidence. Darby Allin's look is striking and unconventional by traditional wrestling standards. At 5 feet 8 inches and around 175 pounds, he is smaller than many of his peers. His half-face skull paint and heavy tattoo work give him an appearance some online users label androgynous, with comparisons even made to actresses like Emma Corrin. However, these takes misunderstand both Darby's aesthetic and punk and skate culture, which have long embraced nonconformity without implying gender identity. Allin's presentation is a deliberate artistic choice rooted in skateboarding, punk music, and his outsider persona. While some LGBTQ+ fans describe him as trans-mask-coded, these are personal interpretations, not statements about his identity. Darby is a cisgender man who was previously married to fellow wrestler Gigi Dolan, and there is no evidence he has ever identified otherwise. His straight-edge lifestyle, no drugs or alcohol, stems from childhood trauma, not gender expression, and most controversies around him focus on unrelated issues like his risky stunts and past allegations he has denied. John Cena, one of the most successful wrestlers of all time, has also faced persistent online rumors about his gender and sexuality. These claims largely stem from his outspoken support for LGBTQ+ rights and the fact that his brother is openly gay. However, supporting equality or having a gay family member does not indicate someone's sexuality or gender identity. Cena has consistently used his platform to promote inclusivity and has defended his brother since childhood, actions that reflect compassion, not hidden identity.
I think
You played football, didn't you?
yes. I think as with everything, there's going to be a period of adjustment, but it just people who can't accept an individual for living their life the way they want, because we only get one go around in this thing. That's just downright ignorance. I have an older brother who's gay, and he's still my brother. Like, that's the thing. I have two choices. I can disown him as a human being for what he does, or he can be my brother.
John Cena's personal life and career leave little room for the rumors that surround him online. His long, public relationship with Nikki Bella and his marriage to Shah Shariatsady in 2020 contradict speculation about his sexuality or gender identity. Some confusion has stemmed from his bisexual character in Peacemaker, but that is acting, not autobiography. Cena's support for LGBTQ+ rights and his defense of his openly gay brother reflect empathy and decency, not hidden identity. His legacy should be defined by his historic wrestling career, record-breaking Make-A-Wish contributions, and success in mainstream entertainment, not baseless internet theories. While the wrestlers discussed so far have only been subjects of rumors, some WWE figures have openly come out as transgender. One such figure is Gabby Tuft, formerly known as Tyler Rex. Born November 1, 1978, in San Francisco, Tuft publicly came out as a transgender woman on February 4, 2021. Since then, she has built a new career as a fitness coach, entrepreneur, and social media influencer. Gabby Tuft's transition began privately during the COVID-19 pandemic, when she initially explored feminine presentation before fully accepting her identity. Formerly known as Tyler Rex, she wrestled in WWE from 2008 to 2012, winning multiple FCW championships and competing on ECW, SmackDown, and Raw, including Royal Rumble and Survivor Series appearances. Her journey was deeply personal and challenging. Gabby has spoken openly about severe depression before coming out, describing her transition as a life-saving turning point. She also faced major health struggles, including open-heart surgery in 2019 for an ascending aortic aneurysm, followed by PTSD and arrhythmia. Married in 2002, Gabby and her wife separated amicably in 2021 but continue co-parenting their daughter Mia. In June 2024, Gabby made history by returning to the ring after 12 years, becoming the first openly transgender former WWE star to compete again. Wrestling under the character Mother, she received widespread praise for her performance of 2025. Gabby runs a health-focused food company, offers fitness coaching, trains at Dustin Rhodes Academy, and has over 1 million TikTok followers. Her story ultimately highlights resilience, authenticity, and living truthfully rather than internet speculation. Not baseless rumors or conspiracy theories, but real people living authentically with courage and dignity. Nyla Rose represents a true trailblazer. Unlike those surrounded by speculation, Rose built her career openly as a transgender woman from the start. Born Brandy Hicks Degro on August 3, 1982, in Washington, D.C., she is of African American and Oneida Native American descent. After training and years on the independent circuit, she signed with AEW in 2019, becoming the first openly transgender wrestler in a major U.S. promotion. In February 2020, she made history by defeating Riho to win the AEW Women's World Championship. Despite occasional controversy, AEW has consistently supported her, and Rose remains an active, influential figure in wrestling and pop culture. Giselle Shaw's story is one of long perseverance and eventual liberation. Born October 30, 1989, Shaw transitioned privately in her early 20s but did not publicly come out until June 24, 2022, during a Pride Toronto event. Trained by Lance Storm, she built an international wrestling career while living in secrecy out of fear it would limit her opportunities. A distressing public confrontation ultimately pushed her to come out, a decision she describes as life-changing. Since then, Shaw has won multiple championships across major promotions, become a prominent advocate for trans visibility, and received widespread recognition for her impact. While transgender identity is part of her story, Shaw emphasizes that it does not define her as a wrestler, only as a person living honestly. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the content on your screen for more like it.